to have you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this party started. I am really thrilled you're here. And if you have any questions, there is something you want to chat about, just type the comments below the video and we'll talk. That's really all there is to it. So, first I want to start with this one. This is my favorite comment we had on Rockstars. For those of you guys watching this on replay, you can always find us on Facebook, Real Estate Rockstar Agents. Look us up, join us. We have almost 4,000 members now. We are one of the fastest real estate groups growing on Facebook. And your coach Borino, happy to be here with you. So let's start with this one. This is from Pedagay, one of my students. We are just in week 2 of the bootcamp. This is week 1. We just launched the week 1 of the W Listings bootcamp. And check her out. Bootcamp update. This is our first week. I'm walking out of the appointment with a signed listing agreement. Borino's program works. I love that. I love that. Right now, and tell me if I'm wrong, do you guys hear a lot stuff like, things are slowing down, nobody wants to move, it's harder to get listings, there's not enough business out there? Does that all sound familiar? So I wanted to show you just one comment. Of course, there are many more. I get these emails from you, and thank you for those, you guys. I get them a lot. How things can be better. They are better. All you have to do is just follow certain steps. We're going to be talking about high probability leads. That's where the business is. I text FSBO and I asked if they'd be willing to work with agents. They respond yes, 3%, they're willing to pay, awesome. Then I asked a permission to stop by for a quick visit and they did not respond. It happened a couple of times already. Your thoughts? Again, good job, Maka, for going out there and contacting FSBOs. A couple of things that will help you if you run into trouble like this. There is a very careful, there is a division or a fine line when you communicate, especially at the beginning with these leads. It is one thing to be polite, and it's another thing to ask permission. See, if you come in too soft, if you come in as a low-status agent, needy agent, too nice, because if you're nice, they're going to like you, right? The old school of selling. You're not going to get far, especially with FSBOs, because they're bombarded constantly. So there are 2 things that will totally turn them off. One is come too strong. Approach them with the strong, heavy script. When are you going to interview an agent for the job of getting your home sold? We've all been drilled that. I've been to the seminar, you know who I'm talking about, right? So that's one thing. You come in too strong, that's going to push them away. Because people don't like salesmen, they don't want to be sold. That's one possibility. The other possibility, you come too low, low status. If you're turning people away, it can be one of the 2. And both are ineffective. Both will kill your chances of connecting with that seller. You got to be in the middle. Confident, but pleasant. Enjoying the interaction. So instead of asking the permission, use a language that's more direct and more confident. I will stop by tomorrow for about 10 minutes. Would you be able to give me a quick tour? Will tomorrow work around 4:45? It's a very different, would it be okay? Would it be possible? Would you be okay with, you know what I mean? Don't use a soft, low status language. Now, how do you do in the text? Same thing. I would like to stop by tomorrow for about 10 minutes, take a quick preview. Would you be able to give me a quick tour at 4:45? Okay? Now, so use high status, confident language. That's one. Second thing I'm going to give you is some people will not respond. Some people will get so overwhelmed, sellers of course, will be so overwhelmed or so under the barrage of agents, they just say, you know what, fuck this. I'm not going to talk to these people. I'm not going to respond. They all just want the listing. And you're lumped in that group. What will help you there, Maka and everybody else who you guys, most of you, my students, are working with FSBOs, is persistence. Give them a little break. If they don't respond, it's cool. Maybe you mail them something cool and helpful, like the websites I talk about. Mail them some sites where they need to advertise their property. Teach them how to put their property on Zillow. Teach them how to put together a good ad on Craigslist. Put it together, a little simple email or even a flyer. If you have the FSBORINO, it's already done for you. So just mail them something. Ping them with something. Just send them a simple market update. If you use services, if you don't have it in the MLS, if your MLS doesn't provide like a client printouts, mine did. But if yours doesn't, just use Cloud CMA. It's a few bucks a month. It's like $30, $40 a month. Boom. I'm not affiliated with them, by the way. I'm not getting paid for that. I just think it's a cool little service that will do these reports for you very quickly. Cloud CMA. There are others, obviously. So give them a little snapshot with a little handwritten note. Hi, Jim. I think you will enjoy a little update on our neighborhood so you know what's going on. Borino, your real estate agent. Any questions? Please contact me. My business card is attached. Boom. Send in a mail. So don't give up on them. I would even stop by. If you have the address, stop by. Knock on the door, say, hey, I saw your house was up for sale. Would you give me a 5-minute tour real quick? That's all it takes. And then I would re-engage a few days later. Because if they're motivated, here's what's happening. let me show you. At the beginning, when the FSBO goes up for sale, and this doesn't work, at the beginning, can you guys see this? Yeah, okay. They're right here. This is the start, okay? Their hopes are up. They're all passionate. They're all optimistic. They're all convinced they're going to do it. Now, you and I know better. We know the statistics. I've been following it for God knows how many years. I already know that only 8, right now, 8% of the for sale by owner transactions are for sale by owners. Out of 100 homes sold, only 8 are FSBOs. They have a very small chance of getting it done. It's really hard, and it's getting harder and harder. But at the beginning, their optimism, resolve is up here. As the time goes by, it starts dwindling. It pauses here because they got a buyer. Turns out to be an investor, bargain hunter, or somebody who never showed up, and it keeps dropping. And the agents start bugging them. Oh man, we're going to do it on our own. And then it keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. And this, at least according to several resources we researched, in about 30 days, drops to the point where starting considering plan B, which is interviewing an agent. Now, this all, of course, depends on the level of their motivation. If they don't have to sell, this will take forever, and they will never list, which may be a case with the seller. You don't know. But the point is, you need to talk to them in order for you to decide, do I want to follow up with them? Do I want these sellers? Do I want to work with them or not? Okay? Somewhere here. Now, it's okay if you contact them here, because here you position yourself as a helpful advisor, as somebody who is cool and not in a stage and stiff and selling way, but in a pleasant way, in an authentic way, genuine way, wants to help. That's your differentiating factor. Very important. And then you follow up, and then you follow up, and then you follow up. You keep in touch. You're cool. You're helpful. Who do you think at this point right here has the best chance of getting that listing? Somebody who's reciting some 20-year-old scripts, who is aggressive, who is bashing over the head, or somebody who's pleasant, who's cool, who's helpful, and who patiently follows up every 7 days or so? You have the best chance to do that. This, of course, can vary depending on their motivation and market conditions, but it is usually, with most FSBOs, within 30 to 60 days, they are considering hiring an agent. If you check my interview with FSBOR, which is one of the largest FSBO websites in the United States, they've tracked that 70% of FSBOs list with an agent within 30 days. 70%. That means if you have 10 FSBOs on your follow-up, 7 will end up listing in 30 days. So it's a good idea, no matter how they react, to keep in touch. Be cool, be helpful, offer tips, offer advice, offer anything that the seller will not perceive as marketing or selling, but something cool, something helpful, something that can help them along the way, even if it helps them sell. What the fuck? Nobody cares. It's fine. So keep in touch throughout this process with them. Next thing I'm going to give you, or the last point that will help you if you work in FSBOs, is go get more. Because out of some of these that you're contacting, some you will reach, some you will not. Some you will connect with, some you will not. Some you will have a pleasant conversation and at the end get a listing appointment and get a listing. Some you will not. But don't ever get stuck on just one, whether it's one expired, whether it's one FSBO, one lead, one transaction, one listing, one nothing. One, maybe one spouse. Stay with one spouse. I hope Hannah, my wife, is around. Anyway, you get my point? Get more. Talk to more. Amass more. Because if you have 10, 15 good FSBO leads in your pipeline, and you're following up, and you're diligently following the system, whether it's FSBORINO or your own system, doesn't matter. But if you keep following up, out of those 10 or 15, you have a nice chance of locking in. My expectations, no guarantees, but my expectations would be at least 25%, 1 out of 4. So if you have 10, that's 2, 3 good potential listings. You put 10 in the pipeline every month, great source of business, don't you think? So that's the secret. That's how you do it. Don't get stuck on what, keep getting more while following up with the ones you have. Groovy?